Prime Minister Modi's Times Now interviews kicked up a storm both in corporate India and among the political class, rejecting the Prime Minister's charge that the Congress is blocking reforms just for an ego massage. The main opposition party blamed Modi for playing petty politics on key issues like GST. Even on foreign policy, the Congress said Modi's bluff has been called, be it India's inclusion in the nuclear suppliers group or the bilateral talks with Pakistan.
In fact, India Inc. also joined this debate, slamming the Congress for disrupting the reform process. Industry veteran Rahul Bajaj sided with Modi's claims on the reform push, stating that things are now moving fast on the policy front. In their reactions to the Modi interview, many CEOs did tell your channel that the government should now go all out to pass the game-changing GST. On attacks against Raghuram Rajan, industry captains have welcomed Prime Minister's strong message that such acts will not be tolerated. The big debate over the Modi interview is a top story right here on India Tonight.
I only say it's with sadness that he should have spoken earlier. Perhaps he may have reined in this new gift that they have got for themselves, this motor mouth. Now, if the Prime Minister is able to step in, we'll be very happy.
Prime Minister's statement is too little too late. When that attack was made on an individual in a constitutional position, immediately the government should have reacted. And now reacting when everything is over, I think it's ridiculous. Prime Minister was duty-bound to respond at the time when the attack was made.
He could have perhaps voiced it earlier and restrained people like Mr. Mazumdar-Shaw from carrying out an open attack on Mr. Rajan.
प्रधानमंत्री जी ने कहा कि उनको जो ऐसा इनका विरोध करते हैं उनको ऐसा नहीं करना चाहिए. So this is a advisory. इसमें एक्शन नहीं है. पेपरों में तो आपने बड़ा शायद उसको बड़ा बढ़ा चढ़ाकर लिखा है कि डांट डपट की. अगर डांट डपट ये डांट डपट है तो फिर आपने डांट डपट सुनी नहीं होगी. डांट डपट होती डिसमिस, सस्पेंशन, एक्सपल्शन.
प्रधानमंत्री ने चूंकि अब इस सिलसिले में जबान खोली है तो उन्हें स्वामी जी को बुलाकर फौरन रोकना चाहिए, वरना भारतीय जनता पार्टी की पूरी तरह से उसको एम्बैरेस करना, परेशान करने में कोई कसर स्वामी जी नहीं छोड़ेंगे, जिस अंदाज से लग रहा है वो.
I think Mr. Prime Minister should have spoken early, as I said, but still I would consider if he has spoken, the impact of which should be seen in the further behavior and in the future utterances of Mr. Swami, who has become a kind of guided missile of RSS.
Guided missile, says opposition of Subramaniam Swami. Now, the Prime Minister's straight talk over Subramaniam Swami has caught the eye of corporate India as well. Top captains of industry hailed Modi's stance on the issue and say that the matter now has firmly been put to rest.
These kind of incidents actually get parties to think their strategies in a different way. I think, they've used Mr. Subramaniam Swami to attack the opposition all this time. But when the guns were fired elsewhere, I think they started taking action. You start taking pot shots, you start sort of alleging and accusing and hurling insults at people like Dr. Raghuram Rajan and Arvind Subramanian and others who actually are just victims of this kind of onslaught where they can't really fight back because of the positions they hold.
I think he has addressed it very directly. He's been very articulate and very clear in his statement. And I think it puts an end to all these, if I may say so, rather fanciful notions that people who have green cards are somehow less patriotic. So I think the statements by the Prime Minister were very direct. Could they have come earlier? Yes, maybe it could have made some difference if it had come earlier. But I think it's very good to have the statements as they were expressed yesterday.
A ceiling has been set and the debate has been closed. Similarly, it is for the government to take a decision whether any step taken was right, whether it was delayed. I think the government has enough machinery and enough analysts to take care of this, each effort and each step taken, each measure taken, and take a decision on its own. It's again not in the public forum to either pass a comment on the performance or the efficacy of any measure which may have been taken or which may have been announced.
मोदी जी से ये पूछा जाना चाहिए कि उन्होंने विपक्ष को कई अवसरों पे क्यों सस्पेंड किया.
Mr. Modi has to introspect himself. Last UPA second time, BJP never allowed the parliament to function. He should not forget that.
The blocking of parliament becomes a yardstick. I think BJP has to look within itself. From 2011 to 2014, they did not let the parliament function.
Where unanimity prevails before membership is allowed, he should have long ago been knocking on China's doors and on Pakistan's doors.
And I don't think we should have pursued it so vigorously. I don't know who briefed the Prime Minister, but there's a long history. And why do you want to go to it?
And if it is so urgent to become a member, then government should do whatever is possible.
चुनाव से पहले कहते थे कि नहीं, लाशें शहादत की बाद सैनिकों के शव आएंगे और वार्ता नहीं हो सकेगी. वो 5-6 बार वार्ता कर चुके हैं, यूएनओ में कर चुके हैं, नेपाल में कर चुके हैं, अफगानिस्तान में कर चुके हैं, उनके यहाँ शादी में जा चुके हैं, अपने जश्न में बुला चुके हैं. पाकिस्तान के बारे में सबसे ज्यादा कंफ्यूज जो है प्रधानमंत्री हैं.
Every foreign minister, prime minister thinks he can resolve Kashmir, including me, I thought. It doesn't happen, it's not going to happen, it's as simple as that.
The Indian government needs to talk to the political government, whether they talk to the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, through the Foreign Secretary at the Foreign Secretary level, or at the National Security Advisors level.
Find us on Facebook at facebook.com/ETNow and don't forget to click the like button. You can also follow us on Twitter at ETNowLive. To stay updated with all our programming, hit the subscribe button on our YouTube channel by logging on to youtube.com/user/ETNow.